friends, I'm Andrea Lake with Simple Stories today, working on a process video using the brand new Simple Vintage Lakeside collection. And I am so glad I decided to record this process. I think what I want to focus on today, as you see me working with my Simple Cards kit, is on, this is one of those days where I was not feeling creative. I wanted to sit on my desk, I wanted to make something, I just was not sure what that was. So I grabbed my kit, my Simple Cards kit, and decided to start working on it and said, okay, I'm gonna work with this collection. It's gonna be one of my design team projects. I am just not sure what that's gonna be yet. And I thought, well, I'll start with the cards. If I feel like stopping halfway through, I'll do so. If something else comes to my mind, I'll stop and work on that, or I'll finish all the cards, and whatever else I make will be a complement of this, and I'll make all of this be part of the design team project. We'll see, but I do love the idea. Every time I get the Simple Cards, I like to put them all together. Even if they're not part of a specific project, I like having the cards ready because it makes it easier for me to just hand out the cards at some point. So again, I started with that. When I work with these kits, I love the idea. I love the fact that everything that you need is in there. You do not really need anything else. Maybe just you just need your adhesive. You don't even need scissors for this project. Now, I do like to bring my dimensional tape or squares, dots, whatever it is that you have, so I can add dimension to the cards. And then one other thing that I like to add is machine stitching details. But you'll see me working on only 2 of the cards. I ended up making them all. Another thing is I do not go through the instructions as reading every single word and putting the cards together as they are. I am a very visual person, so I love the idea of seeing everything that's included in the card. I grab everything as I go card by card, and then I start playing with the dimension. And most of the time I do go exactly by the sample that we have. This was the one and only card where I changed one thing, and the other thing I play with again is the dimension and adding the stitching details, but that's it. I love the designs of these cards, so most of the time I try to keep them the same. Now, what happened as I was halfway through the cards, I had to talk myself into finishing them all, but the idea came through my mind and I knew what I wanted to make, and I could not wait to finish these cards so I could jump right in, and I'll show you the process. So I decided that I needed a box to keep these cards, right? But I did not want to make a big thing. And then I thought, okay, what's gonna happen? Whatever it is that I make, I want to make sure that I can reuse. Once I'm not sure, I'm still not sure what I'm going to do. So I have 2 options. So if I decide to keep all the cards to myself and then hand them out one by one, what I'm doing now, you see me with we have the chipboard. I have selected the papers, so I'm going to create some kind of mini album cover that it's also going to have a box where I'm going to keep. It's going to stand on my shelf, and I'm gonna keep the cards in there, and then as I'm done giving them out, I can come back to the collection or use a different collection, however I feel that day, and create a mini album that fits in the box, and I will reuse that mini album cover, right? I also thought if I don't keep the the mini album and I decide to give it to someone as a gift, well, I'm giving them 8 cards for that person to use and give away or do whatever she or he wants to do with the cards. And then that person can reuse the mini album cover and create something or keep something else in the cover. But it's a good size. I'm just making it, let me just check. So the actual cover is 6 inches tall and I made the spine 2 1/4 inch wide. So that way I can add 1 box. I can make kind of like a box with pattern paper. You'll see me doing that in just a little bit. And then it stands, my cards are safe in there, and I don't know, I love the idea. And again, I was so happy that I decided to film this process because it just gives me an opportunity to talk about these things. We are not, or at least that's what happens to me, but I think we all go through this. We're not creative at all times. We don't feel creative at all times. And that's the beauty of this hobby. That's the beauty of, and also the beauty of the products, you know, and companies that think of these things when putting together and designing products and putting products out there. Like for me, I do like, and I've mentioned this many times before, I do like to create, if we're working with mini albums or something like that, I do like to create my own. I do like to come up with a structure and, you know, start from scratch. But we're not feeling it all the time, right? And I'm not even sure I would have thought of this idea if I didn't feel this way, right? I am not sure if I would have thought of creating a box to keep the cards and all of that if I was feeling, you know, a different way the day that I decided to sit down and put together the project. Okay, so here we go. This is the paper that I selected to create the box that goes inside. So what I'm doing is the first thing I'm figuring out is how deep I need to make the card. And that's gonna be, I need to make that box. And that will be determined, sorry, the first thing, so, sorry, so the first thing that I did was determine how tall I wanted the box to be, right? So then that's where I folded. That's my first folding mark. Then how deep the box is going to be, and that's going to be determined by the spine and the actual cards, you know, how much space I need. I think I made that 2 inches deep. And then just make sure that you leave some space for, you know, to fold on the back and keep that safe and close. Now you do the same on the sides. You're gonna flip your paper and you want, I left the 12 by 12 inches, so then you fold, let's say you leave 1 inch, which is gonna be your backing that's gonna be against the base of your chipboard base. Then again, you leave the same 2 inches, you fold again at 2 inches, then you leave your, how wide you want your piece to be, and then again 2 inches, and then your 1 inch to go against the base of your mini album, your chipboard base. And then you just cut the pieces. As you fold, it is easy to determine, and I can help you. If you have any questions after you watch the video, because I know I'm not explaining myself, I'm not letting you know you cut here, you fold here, and all of that specifically. So just send me a message and I'm happy to explain you exactly how I did it or where I fold and all of that. But as you fold, you start finding out, okay, what flaps I need to cut and what flaps I need to leave and all of that. I'm using liquid glue for this. and then I create this box. I also added, before I started folding and gluing, after I folded, but before I glued this piece, I added machine stitching details just to keep the same kind of effect that I have on the cover. And now I'm using the same pattern paper that I used for this box to create a backing. So my box has a solid back and you don't see all of the flaps. Adding that to the back of my box, and now I'm gonna use super sticky double-sided tape to adhere this piece to the back of my base. And guys, it's as simple as that. Now you can see here, I'm just flipping through these cards. I have them all ready and they all fit, and you have no idea how happy I felt once I finished this. Because again, it's the feeling of, wow, an hour ago or an hour and a half ago when I started working on the cards, it took me no more than an hour to put all 8 cards together. So an hour ago when I started working on these cards, I had absolutely no idea how my project was going to turn out. What was I going to make? Was I going to make something for myself? Is it going to be a gift? What is it going to be? And you know that I do love to make mini albums, and this is one collection that I knew somehow I wasn't sure if I could put a layout together. So mini album it was, but I wasn't sure what. And by starting with the cards, it all came to life. And again, with the cards, when you work on this and you work with the Simple Pages kits, there is not much thinking required. Again, you can go as simple or complicated as you want, but if you want to keep it simple, you don't really have to think. It is your time to sit down and just follow instructions, knowing that you're going to end up with something pretty in the end. And again, that's what I love, and I love the fact that Simple Stories, that they think of these things when putting the products together and giving us all the tools. You know, you can be as creative as you want, and you can overthink it, or you can just sit down, relax, and not think. I am adding now the last few details, bringing my cards back, putting them into that box, tying my bow. And oh my goodness, again, I am so happy with how this project turned out. Here are a few close-up pictures for you to see all of the details. And again, still not sure. I have to say, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna try to hand out, to use those cards, give them away to friends, family members. And then I, of course, have some leftover product that I'm keeping, so I might be able to add a mini album inside. Enjoyed the video. All of the products that I used to put this project together are linked below, and I also added the additional products from the Simple Vintage Lakeside collection, so you can take a look at them and grab everything that you want. Please let me know if you have any comments. I love reading you all. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.